Hi everyone, in this video I'll explain the concept of inheritance in object-oriented programming. So first we'll go with the definition of inheritance, then why we are using this inheritance concept in object-oriented programming, and what are the different types of inheritances we have, and how we are implementing this inheritance concept in object-oriented programming environment. Then we'll move with an example of single inheritance concept. So now inheritance is nothing but it is a capability of one class to derive the properties and the characteristics from the another class. So now the classes, it can be of two types. One is subclass and second one is called as a superclass. So subclass is that it inherits the properties from another class. So which is said to be a derived class, and also it is called as a child class. Whereas your superclass is nothing but the class whose properties are inherited by your subclass. So it is said to be like a base class, superclass or parent class. Okay, so this is a syntax how we can inherit from one class to another class. Like this is your class is a keyword, and this is your subclass name, and we can use a colon symbol. So now this colon symbol is used to inherit from one class to another class, and here we have to specify the access mode, and there we can provide the base class that is of your parent class. So after that you can provide the body of the subclass. So now this access mode will specify that how you are going to inherit your parent class to your child class. So these are some modes of inheritances, that is how you are going to inherit your parent class, that is privately or publicly or protectedly. So the differences of public, private and protected modes are, so when you inherit a child class from its parent class publicly, so that is if we derive a subclass from a public base class, so then the public members of the base class will become a public in the derived class also, and the protected members of the base class will become a protected in derived class. Okay, whereas the private data members we cannot access in your um, subclass. So when you inherit your derived class from your protected mode, so if we derive a subclass from a protected base class, then both the public members and the protected members of the base class will become a protected in derived class. So now when we derive a subclass from a private base class, so then both the public members as well as your protected members of your base class will become a private members to your derived class. Means how far you're going to use the data members of your base class depends on that. You have to inherit your child class with a specific access mode. Okay, so public access mode will specifies that you can access the data members of your class anywhere in your child class. Whereas private, and those data members will be private to that particular class. We cannot access outside of your class. Whereas protected, so those can be accessed in your child class. Okay, so that will be the modes of access specifiers. So here we have different types of inheritances. So in object oriented environment we have five types of inheritances. One is single inheritance, second one is multiple inheritance, and the third one is a multi-level inheritance, fourth one is a hierarchical, and fifth one is a hybrid inheritances. So how we are going to inherit from one class to another class will differentiated of these five types of inheritances. And this inheritance concept can use in your object oriented programming environment for implementing the concept of code reusability. Like we can write some code in your one class, and you can use that code in another class without rewriting that again into that subclass. So for that purpose we are using the inheritance concept in object oriented environment. So now we'll see this is a syntax how you are going to inherit your class from one base class, so that is of your single inheritance. So see here class, this is your subclass name and you can use the colon symbol. Here you have to specify the access mode, that is the publicly you have to inherit or privately or protectedly from your base class. And then the body of subclass you can provide it in that, and you can close with semicolon because the class definition it ends with semicolon. So I'll show you a little bit later what will be the definitions of all these types of inheritances with a simple diagrammatic representation. So whereas in your multiple inheritance we have more than one parent and then we are trying to inherit your subclass. So for that you can use like class, subclass, colon, access mode like base class 1 comma access mode base class 2 and so on. You can have any number of base classes because it's having more than one base class. So now it can followed by your body of the subclass and end with a semicolon. So now we'll see what are these different types of inheritances. So see, this is your single inheritance. So in single inheritance, child class can be derived from one base class. So we have one base class, so which is also said to be a super class. So now this child class, it can get all the properties and the characteristics of this base class. So whereas your multiple inheritance, we have more than one base class. See here we have superclass 1, superclass 2. So more than one means you have any number like so 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So but we have to inherit only one subclass from the all base classes. See here in this multiple inheritance we have two parent classes and then we have one child class. Now coming to a multi-level inheritance, so we have to inherit all the classes in at different levels. So we can take this one as your grandparent class, so which will be acted as a parent class for your parent of the child class. See, this is your child class. So now this child class will get the properties and characteristics of this base class directly, and then this super class indirectly through this base class, because we all know the concept of grandparents and parents and yourself, like you are getting the property of your parent directly whereas your grandparent properties you are not getting directly. So through your parents you are acquiring the property of your grandparent, and that inheritance will given as your multi-level inheritance. So whereas your hierarchical inheritance we have only one parent class, from that parent class you have number of child classes, like you can take a relationship of your siblings, right? So you have only one parent class and from that parent class you have to derive any number of child classes, so that will gives you the hierarchical inheritance. Whereas the hybrid inheritance, it will be a combination of any two inheritances or more than one inheritance. Like you can take a combination of single and multiple inheritance, it will be a hybrid inheritance. And you can take single and hierarchical inheritance, the combination, it will be of a hybrid inheritance. So these are different types of inheritances. So now I'll show you how to implement a single inheritance with a simple program. So here I'm trying to take two classes. One is a student class and another one is a person class. So see here, a person may be a student. So here is a relation between these two classes. And if a person, it will maybe a student. So then see, these are my header files and here is my class definition. See here, my class name is person. So now this class defaultly it is of a public in your C++. So now this is a class public. So the person is my class name and this class will consisting, these are the data members. So I have three data members of type private. So now I have first name, last name and gender. These are of type character arrays, so which can hold maximum of 100 characters for your first and last names, and it will hold maximum of 10 characters for your gender. And these data members are of type privately. So now you can inherit publicly of your base class. So then the private members will be acted as a private members to this subclass, whereas the protected will be acted as a protected member for this class. And then you can these two of your data member functions. Simply these are your data. So like we have a protected data member like age. So then you have two member functions, which is read and input, and second one is to display the data of this particular person. So now this is your class definition, and in C++ you can implement the member functions inside of your class, as well as you can implement outside of your class also. If you want to implement the functions outside of your class, then you can use a scope resolution operator. So that is a combination of two colon symbols. So just a little bit later we'll explain about that. And then see, here is a concept of inheritance. See, here I have a child class named student, which I had inherited from my parent class person. So now this student class is having the data members like first name, last name and gender and age also, and it also having its own data members like college name and branch, right? So now student is having six data members. So yes, so six data members. So four data members it takes from its parent person, and two data members of its own data members. So now see, these are of private data members, that is college name and branch, and here I have two member functions. So that is a read student information and display the student information. So here I am going to implement all my member functions. So before I am created my main function. So now the first function is read data, and this is available from my class person. So now void person. So see, the return type of this function is void. So you can take void person, because you are implementing your member functions outside of your class. You can use this scope resolution operator. So now read data. So in here I'm simply reading my first name, last name, and gender and age of the person. So here I'm using cout and cin statements. So cout is used to display something on my screen, and cin is used to read the content from my keyboard. So now first name I'll take through my keyboard cin, and like that I will accept last name, gender and age also. So that function is completed, and after that I have another function in my person class, that is display data. So by using the display data, simply I am trying to display the content of first name, last name, gender and age. So because of that I implemented that part in this function, and after that so I implemented another two functions of a class student. So now see, void student, read student info. So now I am trying to read. So this means I'll call this function means directly, that is read data function of my parent class inside of my child class function definition. So what's happening when you call this function, directly it will call the parents class function. Because of that here I'm taken this. Otherwise what simply you can do is, by using the object of your child class, you can call all the methods independently, right? You can call all the methods individually. So you can avoid that. Simply you can call read method of your parent in a child class itself. So for that I'm using like this. So person, then scope resolution operator and read data, because I want to access the upper of the thing, so I can access like this. Then cout, like I'm asking the college name. Okay, so this is a college name I'm asking, and then I'll take that college name. So here I'll ask the branch of that particular student, and I'll try to accept that branch. And after that I had one more member function which is available in my student class. So that is of display student info. So again in that also I'll call my display data function, so which is of my parent function. So because again I didn't call mean individually of my parent method to display the value of the person. So because I want to display the content of that person first, then I'll continue with my student info like college name and branch, because that previous things will gives you the personal information. All right. So now see, here I'm trying to display the college and branch, so which is from this student class. So these are the function definitions So we can implement all your function definitions inside of your class or outside of your class. So if you are implemented your function definitions inside, you cannot use any scope resolution operators. We can directly implement. So if you want to implement outside, then definitely you can use the scope resolution operator along with your class name. Okay, so then this is your main function. So in that I'm creating an object for my child class. So S is my object. So now I'm trying to read the student information. So S dot read student info. So whenever you call this method read student info, so now it will call this method. So what this method will say, you can call, you can read the parent class information first, then read this child class information. So because of that, it will ask you first the first name, last name, and then your gender and everything, and after that it will ask you your college name and branch. So and after that we are trying to display your student information. So simply you can call s dot display student info. So whenever you call, this function will call, right? So whenever you call this method, so your compiler will call this particular method. So then in this method, first we are trying to display the parent class information like your first name, last name, age and gender you are trying to display, and after that you are displaying your college and branch. Okay, so this is of a single inheritance program. So I'll try to execute this program. So I just compile and execute this. So see, now it is asked me what is your first name. So here I'm given okay, it's a first name, and this will be a last name, and gender is female, and age is 25 like this. And my college name I'll provided as Wisdom EGG. Okay, and then you have a branch computer science. So see, so now I'm trying to display this thing, that is a display student data. So it will display my first name, last name, gender, age, and college and branch information. I hope you all can understand this concept. Thank you.